Hi everyone, I'm Shauna and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing an update in the mini and sample project pan series I've started here on the channel. I was going through my minis because I have a basket in my bathroom with all the minis, and I think after this one there will be one more introduction of products and then there'll be a finale. I'm thinking based on what I have here and what I have in my bathroom, that should be enough to, I think, finish everything. I'm hoping, or at least like 90%. So you're gonna get at least 2 more videos in this series. Before we begin, I did want to, announce that I did start an Instagram account. It is the same name as this channel, Shauna Rapari. I'm doing a lot of fun things over there. At least I'm having fun on that channel. You get a little bit, I think, a little bit more about me. You get more updates on kind of like what I'm wearing and using every day. I also did start a project pan like exclusive to IG, and I won't be like talking about it here. It's not necessarily because it's exclusive content. Getting a third project pan on this channel is, I don't think it's the play, because I'm down to about 2 videos a week, which is about 8 videos a month. And so I already have 2 of them as project pans. I don't want to really make a third. So there's one over there, and it's just going to be like picture updates, and it's just like a fun way for me to like play with Instagram, and I'm doing a lot of flat lays over there. So you're getting, I think, a little bit different content over there than you are in this channel. So I would love if you would check it out. If you also like project panning content, no buy content, I would love to have you here on the channel, and I would love if you would subscribe. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like or a comment. It really helps boost my video and helps it get seen by more people. So we are going to get into it. I'm going to talk about all the stuff I rolled in last month first, and then I'm going to roll in the new stuff. I have my little basket here. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of, pick things out grab bag style. And the first thing sitting in front of me, the Glossier You. I loved it. This was just a one-time use. I can still smell it. I would 100% buy this. And I do have, okay, so I'm just gonna quickly show you. So I have 2 empty bins. So this is one. And then I have, so this box is the stuff going from the last time I did an empties update. And then I have the other box, the second one, that has everything I've used so far this year. So it helps me remember what I need to talk about in the next video. The reason why I bring that up is that I don't want to forget about this. So this one is just going to stay in the box till the end of the year because I really love it. And this is, I honestly think, a scent that I would buy in the future. The Clinique foundation that I tried, it was too dark for me, but I also didn't really like it. It was just really average, so I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't buy it. And again, some of the stuff in here is just like using it to use it up. It's not cruelty free. So this was one of those. Speaking of Clinique, this liquid facial soap, I finished it pretty quick. It was just okay. I wouldn't buy it. Wouldn't really recommend it either. I don't think the ingredients on here are all that great. I also did find it, like it says that it's for dry combination skin, and I have oily skin, and I did find this slightly drying. Another little glossy product is the Cloud Paint in Dawn. This is actually a color that I did not have. You can see me mixing there. It's that brighter orange color. It was just too dark for me. I actually have haze on my cheeks today. I did find using that one a little bit difficult to work with. Like, it wasn't blending out as nice as some of the other ones, but also it is a little dark for me, but that's a color that I can totally get down with, and that really feels fall to me, fall and winter. So that's a dark color that I like, but this orange one, not really for me. These little packets here are the Ole Henriksen. It was their little kit, like these 3 things. I think it's called the 3 Little Wonders. They come in a kit. There was enough to use this for 2 days because it has the morning and the night. I've been kind of changing my thoughts on samples as the year has gone on. I've said in the past that I no longer just buy samples from Sephora just because it's something to get for free. Well, not buy, but add them to my cart just to get something for free. I don't do that anymore unless there's a sample that I'm really, really kind of lusting after, or I really want to give it a try. And I think for the most part, skincare samples are just not something I'm going to buy anymore, because using this 2 times can't actually give me an accurate assessment of whether or not I would like this product. And so in this sense, I was kind of hoping to be able to maybe see something, but then when I'm thinking about it, it's like, no, Shauna, you're not going to be able to tell. So I have more of skincare kind of active ingredient type serum products that are coming up. I just don't think they're worth getting as samples because they do nothing because you are only using them 1 or 2 times. Next is the Dermalogica primer. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is a primer I noticed a difference with, and I would consider buying this. And it's surprising because there's 3 things in this round that I would consider buying, or would like to buy in the future when, I've run out of things. And this is one of them. And I loved it. I really did. And before I went to go buy this, I would want to double check the ingredients to ensure that they were vegan. But if they were, I would buy it. The third thing in this project that I really loved, and it's now on my Sephora loves list to potentially buy in the future, is the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow, the primer. This was amazing. I think out of everything caught me the most off guard because I don't like anything glowy. I've never used a glowy primer because I think my idea of a glowy primer is that you're gonna get dewiness on the skin. And this is not dewy. This is almost like a highlighter under your skin. And I wore it, I savored this. I got actually 3 or 4 applications out of here. So there was once where I just wore it with nothing else on my face and I loved it, which I've never found a primer that I would wear without makeup. This is the first one. And I also really liked it under makeup too. I'm really excited about this and I do want to buy it, and I do plan to buy it in the future. The other Charlotte Tilbury thing was not as successful. It was their Magic Cream. This retails for, I believe, $135 Canadian. I would never spend that much on a moisturizer. I just wouldn't. You don't need to spend $135 on a moisturizer, at least in my opinion. And it was more moisturizing than I liked. I wouldn't wear a cream that moisturizing under makeup. It's just not my style, and it creates I get oily more quick with this kind of primer underneath, and did not like it. It's too expensive. That's it. Just only a couple things left. I did use both of these Verb shampoo and conditioner packs. Just okay, not remarkable. And then I had a Miss Dior perfume. I did not like this, did not like the scent. And then I also tried the MAC Fix Plus. I did like it. MAC isn't cruelty free, so I wouldn't buy it. But the smell on this really caught me off guard. I did not expect it to smell this way. The way that it did, it was almost kind of musky smelling. It was quite interesting. I don't think I would enjoy spraying that on my face on a regular basis. This is not a special edition scent. This is just the regular MAC Fix Plus, but I've never heard anybody talk about this scent before. I really did not like it. So I wouldn't get this again. The last of the foil packs is the Tata Harper cleanser. It is exfoliating. It is exfoliating. So this is not an everyday kind of cleanser. I think this retails for something like $90 Canadian. So not in the price range. I don't know what the ingredients are. I just don't think I would ever shell out the money for this. These are the bigger products I had in here, and these are actually going to roll over into the next update because I didn't finish them. I introduced this when I used that matching shampoo and conditioner, which was more than halfway through the project, and I thought that I would or the month, sorry. I thought that I would get through this much quicker than I did, but there's still a couple of uses in here, probably somewhere between 2 and 4. So I am gonna finish this. I don't really find it that does anything different than normal. The only thing I do after I wash my hair, I wash it and then I put in a heat protectant. That's it. Sometimes I don't even put in the heat protectant and I let my hair air dry 100% of the time. I don't do anything else with it. And adding this or just using this and not the heat protectant. Well, the heat protectant is that living proof one, and it does other things than just the heat protectant, but this doesn't do anything. So it feels almost like a useless product, because if I were to add a hair care product, I would want it to do something different than the product I already have. I'd want it to make a difference to my hair, the way it looks or feels, and this just didn't. The last thing is the Shiseido White Lucent Brightening Cream. Like this thing, so I think you can see in there, I have used it and I actually didn't use it until the end. It did get lost in the shuffle, but this thing, when I opened it, was completely full to the brim. There was no room in it at all. It was like somebody put it in and then like took a level, it went psh. It was completely full, and that caught me so off guard. I expected this kind of product to be only half full. That's usually the case with samples. This was, yes, I didn't realize how much product was in here, which was my own fault. I don't even know if I'll finish this next month. I'm gonna have to see, but it's going to be in here for at least a month. It is really thick, much thicker than I expected. And so it's only a night cream. It's so thick. And I had reintroduced an oil back into my routine because I had really liked the oil, and I've already gotten to that. But this makes my skin like dewy, oily, and I can't use an oil on top of it. I mean, I wouldn't buy from Shiseido in the future. So, you know, owning this again is not really an issue, and it's also expensive, but it's kind of a bummer that I can't use an oil with that product. Okay, folks, time to go into the products for next month. The first thing I did want to talk about is the RMS, the Living Luminizer. I had peeled off this little thing from the backing last update, and I can no longer find it. That was dumb. If I can find it, I will use it and I'll bring it in and I'll talk about it next month. But it was just like so small, it just kind of disappeared, fell off my desk, and just ended up somewhere. So I'm keeping this one attached to its card. I'm gonna use it up. I also found a sheet mask. There's two. I have this one and one I think from a different brand. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I don't like sheet masks. I find them very wasteful, and I generally don't find that they do anything. And they're kind of bulky and expensive. They take up a lot of space. So I am going to use this guy up, and then I don't know if I'll use the second one. I might just keep that for the next update. I think it's just time I get this out because these are just not products that I use or would buy anymore. So it's time to go. I'm gonna leave the bigger samples to the end. I think that there's a lot of stuff in here. Again, I have more of the bigger samples than I did last time. So I'm hoping that some of these will last for a few weeks. So I have to remember to kind of get into that stuff early. I do have some more shampoo and conditioner foil packs. We're really getting down there. I'm very excited. So I have the Caviar Anti-Aging, or it's the alternate hair care, Caviar Anti-Aging Replenishing Moisture Shampoo and Conditioner. This stuff is just, anything moisturizing is too moisturizing for my hair. And then I also have these two Brioche samples. I have so many of these. I'm just gonna try and use as many of, well, I have a lot more of these than these. I still have more. So I have the Brioche Deep Conditioning Mask and then the Scalp Scrub. I love the Scalp Scrub. And I was kind of just holding on to it because I didn't want it to be out of the collection. And I have so much of this. I'm almost like dreading having to go through it because there's so much. And as I've said, my hair is like an oilier skin type, but also my hair has never been healthier. I used to, back in like high school, well, back in college, I had every kind of hair imaginable. Well, maybe that's a little much. I had pink hair and I had purple hair. I've also had blonde hair. I was blonde for years. Most of college I was blonde. And then I, went from brown back to blonde. And my hair for most of college was so dry and fried. I lived off these masks. I would use these kinds of masks, maybe not Briogeo, but I would use them as my conditioner. But now, yeah, my hair is just really healthy. And so this kind of product usually weighs it down. I guess maybe I need to think about what I'm going to do with these because I have a lot. So I'm definitely going to use this one, and then we'll see about the other ones in the future. I also have these weird samples. So here's the thing that pisses me off. Okay, so I have the Rita Hazan Triple Threat Split End Remedy, and then the Guerlain the Eye and Lip Contour Cream. These were both products that I did not pick for myself. I picked other samples when I was ordering at Sephora in the past, and they just filled them in with whatever they had because I didn't have that sample on hand. So I'm gonna try them. I was never really excited about them because I didn't choose them for myself. So I have actually another foundation pack. I don't think I would use all of them, or at the very least, I would probably mix them together. So this would probably be 1, maybe 2 uses. I don't know exactly how much is in here. These kinds of samples, these big cardboard ones, just really take up so much space. So getting this out, I'm excited about for the space component. I've never tried the Sephora Collection foundation, so I am very curious about it. I have the Victoria Beckham primer. I got this when I ordered my shadow last year, and I never used it. So there you go. And then I have this Herborian Glow Cream. I have no idea where this came from. I don't think Sephora carries Herborian. I don't know, but this is an old sample, over a year. It might even be older than that. It's an illuminating face cream. That will be interesting. And that's why some of these samples sit, is that they probably came as a substitution or as like an extra in a set. And I don't really like glowy stuff, so it just kind of sits and sits and sits. I also have this Algenist Advancing Anti-Aging Repairing Oil. I'm pretty sure the Algenist is super expensive, and this seems like a pretty big sample for an oil. So I'm actually kind of excited about this because I do like oils for my skin. Okay, 2 moisturizers. No, this is the cleanser. This is the relatively new Milk Makeup vegan milk cleanser. I have wanted to try this, and I did get it in a sample, so I'm very excited about this. And then I also have the Pharmacy Daily Greens Oil-Free Gel Moisturizer. I did get this fairly recently when I ordered The Ordinary from Sephora. I think I might have gotten this one too when I ordered that Ordinary stuff from Sephora. Either way, these 2 are from this year. So I was curious about this, and so this is one that I did pick for myself, very interested in trying. I have 3 of these Good Genes samples. They are the Sunday Riley. Everybody talks about, at least I've only ever heard good things about these, and I have enough where I could probably, you don't use this every day, right? It doesn't say how often you should use it, but it is a lactic acid treatment, so I wouldn't want to use this every day. So even if I use this, let's say twice a week, this is probably close enough for a month's worth of use. All right, I have this Herbalism sample from Lush. This is from last year as well. I haven't been to Lush in 2020. There's just a little bit in there, and it definitely has gotten lost in the shuffle. So between this one and this one, we'll have to see how much I get, used through these guys. I am stopping my retinol treatment because I'm almost done my tube. There's not that, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I think I've only used this one time, not a lot, and this thing is nowhere near full. It never was to begin with, which which is why I guess I was so surprised about the this sample, the Shiseido. We'll have to see how much I use from these, but to kind of keep them as a reminder to use them without that, it would just kind of sit around. So I have a couple of things left. I have the L'Occitane Confidence Cream. Oh, sorry, Comforting Cream. It has not been opened yet. I think this is a hand cream. So this is the perfect time to use it up because I'm basically done with all the hand creams in my home. Like, you know, like this one is kind of my desk one, and it's just, you know, on its last legs. So this one will probably just sit at my desk. I have two fragrances I also want to finish. The Daisy Love Marc Jacobs perfume and the Maude Noir. I actually love Maude Noir, and I tried it out earlier this year and I loved it. And I went, oh, I would want to buy that. And I went to Sephora to go add it to my loves list. And this perfume was a limited edition, either 2017 or 2018 scent, which means this has been sitting in my sample drawer for 2 to 3 years. This is exactly why I'm doing this project right here. And so I don't want to use it up, but then at the same time, it's like, dude, you can't get it anymore. So it doesn't matter. Another thing that has just been sitting around is this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It is a little light. We'll have to see. This might be one that I'll try, and I'm gonna have to try and see how the shade is, and maybe I'll have to keep it for the next update, but I really want to try my best to use it if I can. And the last sample is the Peter Thomas Roth face mask. It is the Cucumber Gel Mask, Extreme Detox Hydrator. It is refreshing, cooling, moisturizing gel that helps soothe the look of dry skin with cucumber extract. My skin is very confusing lately. It's mostly oily, but I'm getting a lot of dryness like right here. And then also just, my skin is really acting up, and the texture is not great. And so I picked this mask because I think that it would just be a really nice soothing mask. And that's exactly what it says that it does. So I think this will be perfect. I don't think that this will be 1 month's worth of use. I think it'll be in for 2. So good to just kind of put it on the radar now. Okay, so that's everything that I'm rolling in. I'm actually thinking it might be more than last month, but I definitely have more of the bigger items than I did last month, or more like bigger samples than I did last month. So definitely a lot to keep me busy for the next month. As I'm looking at all this stuff, I'm very excited to, like, I'm seeing a lot of progress and a lot of shrinkage in my collection from these stupid samples that have just been inflating my numbers. As we're kind of getting to the end of the year, I don't know if I'll do my next inventory in December or January, but I would be excited to know what my numbers are like when all these samples are gone. Because like I said, we are getting really close to 0. And I really love that. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again around here soon.